let's talk about my weight loss journey and how I was able to lose 70 pounds. But more importantly, why I had to lose 70 pounds 3 times over my lifetime, and how I'm going to fight like the devil for this to be the last time and not have to do it again. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, since I got back from Jamaica, I have slipped a little bit. I have slipped into more of the bad habits that I had broken before taking this trip, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit. So first and foremost, I'm going to apologize for the noise in the background. I got some neighbors across the street that's just having a heyday and wanting to talk. It seems like the moment I come outside, everybody wants to come outside and do the same thing. Secondly, there are dogs in the neighborhood. If one passes by, the one in the house is going to bark. And thirdly, my neighbor with the rogue smoke detector, his garage is up, so you may hear a beep here and there. I'm just going to say all this to say is that there is real life going on over here. I can't put it on hold so I can record the perfect video for you guys. So we're just going to roll on as if it's not happening. But just know, I'm aware of all the noises in the background, and I really wish they weren't there. But this is my recording situation at the time, and I do have to take advantage of all the free time I have to record so that I can get this information to you guys as easily as I possibly can. So, first and foremost, yes, each and every time, nearly in the last 3 years that I've lost weight, I had some assistance. I am currently using a GLP-1 medication, which is Zepbound. That is what I'm currently taking. I started out on Wegovy and lost the majority of my weight on 2.4 milligrams of Wegovy. It curbed my appetite. It stopped me from thinking about snacking. It did all the things that it was supposed to do. But that is not the end all be all, because in order to keep this weight off this time, there has to be a mindset shift. And this morning was when I realized that I was falling back into some of the same things that I was doing previously. So GLP-1 medication really did help me get the ball rolling. It helped me drop the pounds. And if it works for you, if your insurance will pay for it, I highly, highly recommend it, because it just takes the hard work out of losing the pounds initially. They helped me control my appetite. They reduced cravings, but I still had to try to pick the better things to eat. I had to hydrate, and I still had to move my body. So in taking the medications, it did help me drop the pounds, and help me drop the pounds fast. But it doesn't help you keep the pounds off, because nobody wants to be taking medicine that you have to inject for the rest of your life. So while that medication is doing all the things that it possibly can to help you, you need to be getting your mind right and making the choices. Now, the way I slip back is I have started back with some of the empty calories. We all know that, it was just Halloween. I had a recent death in my family, so we had lots and lots of days of food and junk and things at the house, including sodas. And everybody that knows me, Coca-Cola is my weakness. And I did have some. And unfortunately, I'm still having it. So in addition to coming back off of vacation, having an immediate, death in the family, and picking up with all of the food associated with that, and then having all of the sodas and junk left over, I have struggled a bit. I've also had started back drinking wine. And so what I have come to realize is that the empty calories are going to have to be eliminated for me. It's not like I can have it in moderation. I simply can't have it at all. And I don't crave it. I don't necessarily need it. But once I start back drinking it, it is really difficult for me to stop. So I felt myself slipping back into my old habits. And I wanted to come on and talk to you guys a little bit about it. Because as much as I talk about obesity and, black women and the war on weight and all of those things, I do understand the challenges that come along with making the changes that need to be made so that we can lose the weight that we need to lose. Now, one of the things that I've done and that I continue to do is to try to prioritize protein. And I know that can be difficult because I am not a big meat eater, and that's where you get most of it. I do eat lentils and things like that, but I have tried to prioritize protein because that's what the doctor is telling me to do. That's what keeps me full, and that's what I've been trying to do. Now, I have a couple other weaknesses, which one you get around Halloween, which are these caramel apple suckers by Tootsie Roll. I absolutely love them. And I got a hold to some saltwater taffy. So I got a few habits that I picked up that I never should have picked up that I need to hurry up and put down because I hit my goal weight and I'm not going backwards. I'm absolutely not going backwards, and I feel myself slipping. So I wanted to come on and talk to you guys because I need to be held accountable when I'm doing the things that I'm asking you guys not to do. Now, while I prioritize protein, I have not eliminated all carbs. Carbs are not the enemy. They are your body's favorite source of fuel. So you have to have some carbs along with the protein and vegetables that you eat. You just need to choose your carbs wisely. And some of those can be lentils, beans, quinoa, rolled oats, things of that nature. We don't want to be eating a bunch of junk, chips and bread and all those things that are high in carbohydrates. But we do need to make sure that we have some carbs so our bodies have some fuel to burn so that we can make sure that we're burning fat and not muscle. I also had a structured eating window. Now, I'm sitting here telling you guys all these things because I am reminding myself that I have got to make some changes. I need to be eating in that window to give my body an opportunity to assimilate, to metabolize, and then to get rid of some of these things that I'm eating. If we're eating around the clock, our body doesn't have a chance to do all the things that it needs to do. And we need to stay hydrated. Now, we can stay hydrated by drinking water, but there are also water-soluble vegetables and fruits that we can eat. So I highly encourage that. I've been hydrating with wine and Coke and things that I shouldn't be, which don't cause hydration, but they will cause you to feel full, and then you find out that you are loaded with sugar and carbs and things that you never needed. So make sure you get your hydration from fruit, vegetables, and that good old H2O. And movement matters. I was so opposed to working out and exercising this time around that it wasn't even funny. My brother is a trainer. He sent me some exercises. I posted them in a video that I did when I first started this series on the war on black women's weight. But I am so opposed to exercising. But I don't mind walking. I make it a habit of getting my steps in. So what is the most recent thing that I've done? I purchased a 10-pound weighted vest to wear when I go on my walks. It is added 10 pounds, so there is some resistance during my walks, and I have decided that I am just going to add a few steps or some distance or some more time to my walks each and every day, incorporating that vest so that I have some resistance. The walking in itself will do it, but I thought adding that 10-pound weighted vest would make things a little bit easier. It is not super heavy, it's not hard to use, and it has worked for me. So we're going to prioritize our protein. We're going to stay hydrated. We're going to keep moving. And we are not going to eliminate all carbs. We are simply going to eliminate the bad carbs. Now, the most important part of this video is not necessarily what I did to lose the weight, but why I'm having to do this for the third time and what I have learned along the way. The biggest lesson that I learned along the way is that these things take time. You didn't gain the weight overnight. You're not going to lose it overnight, whether you take a GLP-1 medication or you starve yourself or you do the latest diet. The only thing that's going to sustain us is continuing to do all the things that we need to do, as difficult as it can be. When life happens, we have to remember that sticking to the plan is what's going to get us to the finish line and keep us there, so we aren't constantly running this race over and over and over again. I had to learn to have patience, and I'm trying to have patience with myself, which is why I'm sitting here having this conversation with you guys. We've talked about how I lost weight. We talk about all the things we need to do to keep the weight off, but what we hadn't talked about is why I've had to do this 3 times and why I never want to do it again. And when you feel yourself slipping back into your old ways, sometimes you got to come on and talk to someone or some people that are going to hold you accountable to what you should be doing. And I know I can count on you guys for that. You guys do not let me slip, slide, or any of the above. So I had to learn that these things take patience, they take time. It is a journey. And for those of us that are addicted to certain things, or that really, really like to eat certain things, or in my case, drink certain things, because it's the wine and it's the Coke and all of that for me, the GLP-1 meds don't really allow for me to eat a lot. But I do tend to fill those spaces with things that I should not be drinking. And I know now that I'm just going to simply have to get those things up. I don't miss them when I don't have them. I just don't need to start it back up once it's all over. The second thing that I learned is that perfection is the enemy of progress. You know, there are days when I fell off. You know, I'm talking to you guys about my slip-ups right now, but I refuse to quit. I am never going back to being over 200 pounds. I'm going to stay here at my goal weight. I'm going to keep doing what I need to do. As much as I don't like exercising, I'm going to continue to exercise, even if it's something as simple as a few push-ups with my own body weight and that extra weighted vest when I go for my walks. You know, progress is built on consistency, not perfection. So we have got to stay consistent. And I have got to have my accountability buddies to keep me that way. Because if not, I can see myself slowly but surely slipping right back into my own habits, my old habits. And the next thing that I want to talk to you about is that having that strong support system. That's important as well. You got to have people that'll hold you accountable. You got to surround yourself by people that want you to win. We can't be listening to folks that think we're too skinny or don't want to see us lose any more weight, or that, you know, have speedy metabolisms and they're just naturally slim, or the ones that are obese that want you to be obese with them. Those are not the people that we need to surround ourselves with. We need to surround ourselves with people that are moving in the same direction that we are moving in and that are doing the same things that we want to do, because we don't want to continue on this roller coaster and have to do this over and over again. And the last thing I'm going to say is that you got to act like the person that you want to become. You got to start showing up as that person. Whenever I open that refrigerator and I see that red can of Coke, the person that I am no longer wants to drink that if it doesn't benefit me. So A, it doesn't need to be in my refrigerator. And B, I need to have a strong enough mentality not to pick it up. The healthy and strong, confident version of yourself is who you need to start living as. And even before you see that person in the mirror, you need to imagine what that person looks like and how that person would feel. And in closing, this isn't about being skinny. This is about being healthy. Healthy, happy, and whole. I say it all the time. And you can use whatever tools you need to get you started. It's the GLP-1 medications for me. I know all of the side effects and the consequences of taking these meds. And for me, the benefits have outweighed anything bad that can happen. But I don't want to depend on it for the rest of my life. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of every step that I make. I'm proud of the fact that I can come to you guys and say, hey, I feel myself slipping. Don't know if any of you are dealing with some of the same things, but let's talk about it. Because you can heal your body, but you cannot heal your body by continuing to abuse it with food, beverages, bad content, anything negative. We have the ability to heal ourselves, and we have to do the research, we have to do the work, and we have to make sure that we're doing all the things that we need to do in order to ensure that that's happening. So do me a favor, drop me a comment below on how you're going to move forward and continue to do all of the things that we need to do. If anybody is messing up like me, anybody backsliding a little bit, we got to get this thing under control, because the next holiday is Thanksgiving, and then it'll be Christmas, and then it'll be New Year's. And if we do what we always do, we're going to eat and drink way too much of all the things that we shouldn't be eating and drinking. So do me a favor, drop me a comment and let me know what you're going to be doing to stay on track. Give me some incentives and feedback on how I can stay on track. And if there's anything that you're doing that's working for you, please don't hesitate. Let me know. Leave it in the comments. We made it to the end of the video before the dog started barking, but not completely. So thank you guys for your patience with the barking dogs and the cars going up and down the street and the rogue smoke detector. The lighting in this house is just horrible. It's just dark in there, and I do have to come outside in order to record these videos, and I know it can sometimes be a little noisy. So I do appreciate you guys hanging in there with me and watching this video. So until the next time, the Seasoned Lady is signing out. I hope each and every one of you have a absolutely terrific day. Until next time, toodles.